I would like to invite our keynote speaker, who incidentally happens to be student number 0001 at Temple School. 20 years ago, there she is. There she is. We are awed. And guess what she's doing? Her PhD. So just before I hand over the mic, Lanaire Aderemi is a writer and researcher committed to amplifying and archiving untold stories. She holds a first-class sociology degree and a distinction in an MA creative writing degree from the University of Warwick. She is the recipient of the 2019 Shoot Festival Artist Development Award and the 2020 Peter Gutkind Prize. She has worked with organizations like the British Council, the BBC, the Tate Modern. Wow. Lanaire is currently an M4C PhD candidate. That's a mouthful. M4C PhD candidate in literary practice, University of Warwick. Oh, this is one that really touches me. Exploring the Egba women's revolt. That is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, Lanaire Aderemi.
Thank you, Mrs. Aderemi, for that wonderful introduction. Good morning, the chairman, Mr. Okaradia, the founding director, Mrs. Okaradia, members of the Board of Governors, Director of Education, Mrs. Aderemi, members of the core leadership team, parents, teachers, and students. My name is Lanaire Aderemi, and I'm a writer and PhD student. I joined Temple in 2004 at its inception, and I was part of the Special Seven, also known as the Pioneers. So I'd like to take you, through memory lane from me. So these were the days when we recited Psalm 91 at assemblies and eventually memorized it all. The days when our Christmas concerts and sports days were in the fields of the early years. The days when we swam at Mr. and Mrs. Okaradia's house in Maryland. The days when every celebrant received a birthday present from Mrs. Okaradia and posed for a picture with their doll or superhero decorated cake in front of the large playground filled with slides and the amazing trampoline. The days when cursive handwriting was compulsory and reading competitions were exciting. The days when we memorized Nigeria's states and capitals to enter our classrooms. The days when we learned an instrument, even when your necks hurt from the violin, since perseverance was also a virtue. The days when the talk shops gave us our first ticket books, which made 12-year-olds feel like adults for the very first time in our lives. The days of domino rolls at break times. Do they still do that here? Oh, okay. That's wonderful. Cold Fantas in boarding school. Do you still have Fanta? Okay, nice. Cold Fantas in boarding school, and chips and eggs in Friday in hostel. Do you still do that? Okay, KFC. Yes, so these are some of my fondest memories. So every single moment, the small and the large, the mundane and fun, the utilitarian and decorative, all contributed to who I am today. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak to you all 20 years after Temple's birth year. Thank you for listening to my Temple tales. Temple has grown, and I am so proud to have witnessed the growth afar and up close. But like Temple, you graduates have also grown. You have learned new things and unlearned old things. You have been strong and courageous, and more importantly, you did not give up, even when the journey was tough. So a big congratulations to you all. Bask in this moment. 9 years ago, I stood up on this stage as head girl, convinced I was going to end up a lawyer. It made logical sense. I loved reading, I loved writing, and whilst the stereotype isn't always true for lawyers, I loved arguing. From my A-levels, I studied English literature, psychology, and economics, and this surprised my peers since my chosen subject cut across the arts, the sciences, and business, and I think this is testament to Temple's motto of educating the whole child. I eventually completed the LNAT, a law entrance exam some universities in the UK require, and I dreamt about life in the London School of Economics. On results day, everything changed. For the first time in my life, I did not get the grades I wanted, and there were consequences. I had worked very hard, so I was angry at God, but I was also secretly happy that I could finally study sociology, a course that would eventually stretch my imagination and understanding of society. Coincidentally, I recently discovered the founding director, Mrs. Okaridja, also studied sociology. In my first year of university, during a 3-month strike, Nigeria clearly followed me. I gathered my friends to create a play inspired by women-led movements I had read about whilst I was at Temple. The two movements involved women revolting against the British colonial tax system. The first was the Aba Women, which took place in 1929, and the second movement was called the Egba Women's Revolt, which took place in 1947, and which is what my PhD is on. And I'm also premiering a short film called Record Found Here on this subject matter at Ebony Life in a few days. Yes, thank you. I thank God. To produce this play, I drew from my experience of co-organizing Christmas concerts on this stage and singing and dancing in countless plays at Temple. The outcome shocked me. 300 students attended my play at 17. At 18, I won a residency at the Birmingham Rep Theatre, and since taking that leap of faith, I have received grants totaling up to £100,000 from writing, researching, and producing events. Thank you. Committed to balancing my creative endeavors and my academics, I learned to study smart and eventually graduated with a first class in sociology and received a Peter Godkind Prize for a dissertation I wrote about my interests, how Nigerian women use Twitter to organize and resist sexual violence. Hindsight is a precious gift. I now read Romans chapter 8, verse 28 differently. As my mom pointed out, when writer Paul wrote that God causes all things to work together for the good of those who love God, he wrote all things, not good things. My sociology degree was a seed. It gave me the space, time, and knowledge to research rigorously and create courageously. Graduates, the journey ahead is promising, but it is also unpredictable. And at times you will feel discouraged. I'm just being very real. In moments like this, I want you to remember that all things work together for your good. I also want you to remember your why, the reason you do what you do and why you do it, because it is the why that will keep you going. My Temple School experience shaped me into being a leader, an imaginative thinker, and an entrepreneur. Many of my peers will say that Temple was home away from home, and I completely agree with this. Not many children are excited to go to school, but we were, thanks to the nourishing environment Mr. Okaridja, Mrs. Arafi, and the Temple staff cultivated. I believe that the great support I received from my teachers has shaped me into becoming the person I am today. I am ambitious and afraid of nothing. And this is because Temple encouraged me to clothe myself with compassion and confidence, rather than fear and doubt. So picture this. Year 5 children hear the bell and are about to rush out when their teacher says she isn't done teaching. There is a collective sigh and anticipation for her to conclude her ruminations. She speaks about a literary device with zeal and passion and explains that it's a superpower for retaining information. Does anyone know what that literary device is? So something that allows you to remember information, graduates. Starts with an M. Mnemonics, yes. Yeah. Mnemonics. So that was what my teacher in year 5, Mrs. Lanaire, taught me at the time. So her superpower, the superpower she mentioned, a memory aid, helped me remember Henry VIII's 6 wives, the reactivity series in year 9 chemistry, and poems I later wrote in my final years of university. So today, I want to leave you with a mnemonic, and I hope you never forget this. The mnemonic is create. So can you please say after me, create? Okay. So the C stands for curiosity. Everyone say curiosity. Okay. So I said that word because I want you to remain curious. The world rewards multifacetedness, so explore your passions with diligence. Read what intrigues you and share these discoveries with the world. If you remain curious and focused, you will either become a problem solver or a pioneer. The R stands for reflect. Everybody please say reflect. Reflecting on your why helps you to stay focused in a world filled with distractions. So keep your eye on the prize and never ever give up. The E stands for excellence. Please say excellence. Okay. Temple taught me to be excellent. Excellent people pay attention to the smallest details. Excellent people have integrity, and excellent people put God first. The A stands for ask. Everyone say ask. Okay. So this is inspired by the biblical principle which I adopt in my own life, ask and ye shall be given. It's a principle I live by because closed mouths don't get fed. Doors are open to people who knock. There is no such thing as a silly question or a silly ask. So ask for opportunities. Email people you admire. Shoot your big dreams short. And ask in faith, since faith is God's love language. The T stands for time. Everyone please say time. Okay. Time flies. 2015 feels like yesterday for me. List your tasks in order of importance and do the first things first. Schedule your tasks on your calendars. Time blocking will always make you productive. And if you struggle with time management, walk with friends that are diligent and disciplined. You become who you spend time with. Do not procrastinate and stay patient because God makes everything beautiful in its time. The E stands for empathy. Everyone please say empathy. The world does not revolve around you. Put yourself in other people's shoes and do unto others what you want others to do unto you. So attending temple was the best decision my parents made in my whole life. Truly, like the temple pledge goes, I was taught to do my best to be the best. So I pray for success, joy, and peace for you all. You should be so proud of yourselves. So celebrate, congratulations, and create. Thank you.
That was incredible. Incredible.